Welcome to the Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show, where we make plant-based cooking easy. I'm Jill, and today we are making a nice and comforting apple crisp.
It's the all-free whole food plant-based cooking show.
Today's show is brought to you in part by Scindian Natural Food Products. Scindian is a family-owned and operated Australian company celebrating 20 years in business, making a wide range of affordable plant-based gluten-free products like burgers, sliders, sausages, and more. No preservatives, stabilizers, emulsifiers, or additives. Just clean, minimally processed, whole food ingredients that never compromise on flavor. In the US, you can find Scindian products in many independent health food and specialty grocery stores, and in the freezer aisle at select Meijer stores, or by ordering online at meijer.com. In Australia, you'll find them online at scindian.com.au and at your local supermarket. Scindian, guided by nature. Okay, hi everyone. It is winter time, it's cold, so what do you want to eat? You want to eat comfort food, right? And I know one big thing for comfort food is apple crisp. So many people love apple crisp, and I happen to have grown up on it. We had some apple trees in our yard that my mom would cut up. I remember sitting there with bowls full of apples in all different stages and bowls full of water. She'd peel them up and slice them up and stick them in that water, and she would freeze them. So we would have fresh apples all year long for apple pies and apple crisp. So what I have here, I've got 6 cups. It was about 4 large apples. These are Honeycrisp, my personal favorite, but you can use whatever apple you like. Some of them are a little bit sweeter, but if you like the sweet tart kind of thing, I would go for a Granny Smith. So that's 6 cups there. And one little tip for apples too, we always have apples in the house, but at some point they start going bad before we can eat them. They get some little soft spots or something in it. I just cut them up, chunk them into little chunks like this, and put them in a freezer bag, stick them in the freezer, and I just keep adding to that until I have enough to make an apple crisp. That's normally how I make the apple crisp, but these are fresh. So anyway, you already got that. You got your 6 cups of chopped up apples that we're gonna add we're gonna add a teaspoon of cinnamon and 2 tablespoons of arrowroot powder. Then we're gonna add a little bit of lemon zest, and that is completely optional. You don't have to put that in there. But lemon zest happens to be loaded with vitamin C, and that's one thing during the winter you really want to get. Because without being out in the sun or without being outside, vitamin C is really important to have. This is just juice of half of a lemon. And then a 1/4 cup of water. And you could probably even add, if you really like cloves or nutmeg or something like that, you could add that in there. That would give it a really interesting, more of a fall type of flavor. So now you just want to stir these up a bit because you want to get that arrowroot coated. That's going to help all those juices create a nice little sauce. Once you get those coated really well. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. The lemon and the cinnamon mixed together. Oof, it's so nice. Okay, so now I have just a regular, like a brownie pan. I think it's a 9x9 pan that we're just gonna pour these into there. And you don't even have to grease this thing. If you want to, if you really don't want it to stick, you could lightly oil it, or you could put a piece of parchment paper in there, but you really just don't need to. Okay, so you just stick those in there, spread them around a little bit. Okay, so now for the absolute magic part. That's that crumble that's on top. And typically, that crumble has a lot of butter in it, and we're not using butter. So we're gonna use, and sugar. So we're gonna use 1 cup of pitted dates. That is our whole food sweetener. A 1/2 cup of almond meal, 1 cup of rolled oats, and another teaspoon of cinnamon. And I'm just going to guesstimate. That looks about right. And then we're just going to pulse this till it gets really nice and crumbly. You don't want to get it too small so it's like flour. You still want it to be a little bit chunky. So you just pulse it. Okay, you see that there? How nice and crumbly that is? Now we're just going to sprinkle this on top. You know, make sure it's starting to kind of stick together a little bit. But we just sprinkle all of that all over those apples. Okay, there we go. And spread it out a little bit, a little more evenly on the top. And then as an added bonus, this is completely optional, I have about 1/4 cup of chopped pecans. I absolutely love pecans and I love them with apples. So I'm going to sprinkle them on top. But you don't have to use nuts if you don't want to because there's already the almond meal in there. But this is just adds an extra little wow factor. Okay, I already have my oven preheated to 350. So we're going to stick this into the oven for, let's see what I have here, for 45 minutes. And that's going to be all nice and bubbly and brown. Can't wait till you see it. While we're waiting for that, I'd like to share with you some background on our show. The Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show is crowd-funded, which means these free weekly recipe videos, along with our entire catalog of recipes on our website, plantbasedcookingshow.com, and our new Plant-Based Cooking Made Easy cookbook are all made possible in part by the generous patronage of our supporting members. By becoming a supporting member, you gain access to great member perks like monthly product giveaways, free downloads of our ebooks, and access to our in-depth courses, including our 28 Days Plant-Based Made Easy course, where we offer a step-by-step guide to making the switch to a fully plant-based diet. We create this show for the hundreds of thousands of viewers just like you who tune in each month from all over the world to make it easy for everyone to live a plant-based lifestyle. So if you love our content, please join us on our mission and become a supporting member today by following the link in the description. Okay, let's get back to the show. Okay guys, it is out of the oven and man, does this smell good. So come on in for a little peek here. Everything's nice and golden brown. And oh my gosh, you can smell the lemon zest and the cinnamon. That smells so good. Okay, so I'm gonna meet you at the table with a bowl and a spoon and we'll give this a taste. Okay, time to eat. Let's dig in. Been smelling this for so long and I just can't wait anymore. Look at that. The apples are still so juicy. Oh, yum. That was so good. The apples are nice and tart. With that crumble on top, with the nuts, you get a little of that richness and the sweetness of it. It's like the perfect balance of sweet and tart. So be sure to give this one a try, guys. And I'll see you next time.